प्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Om. May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, all the sensory and motor organs and the life force be efficient and powerful. All is verily the one without second, blissful, conscious existence itself, the Brahman. May I never deny Brahman. May the Brahman never reject me either. May all the virtues necessary to realize this Brahman be with me. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us feel the oneness of existence. Let us imagine our bodies as various different jars. Also, all the different things are like jars. Each jar has space, and associated with that jar, it appears to be different. But is the space really different? Same space is in all jars. Even the walls of the jars have the same space. It does not get divided. How many lines, howsoever many lines you may draw, it doesn't divide actually any space. It is all one without second, same space, although appearing different, separate from each other. So also, although we think we are different from each other and other things, there is the one Atman, the one supreme existence and consciousness pervades all of those. To experience that oneness is the goal of life, because that leads us beyond all suffering and brings eternal peace in our life. Om, peace, peace, peace. So, dear friends, let us begin today's discussion on this great book which encompasses together the knowledge, the devotion, the truth, and its all appearances. Everything is covered in this great book, and that too it is imparted through very beautiful, attractive stories. So let us begin with our opening chant. Please recite as loudly as you can. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. That from whom creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of the three gunas subsists, just as the combination of materials like fire, water, and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. So, we are meditating on that which is the only independent entity. It is everything that we see, feel, experience, they are dependent. Although we may feel the independence, it is a reflection of that independent that is being felt. There is nothing else actually independent. All governed by that. Like Sri Ramakrishna used to give that anecdote or story that the veggies like tomatoes, potatoes, beans uh, in a big pot filled with water and put on boil with a big fire underneath. And as the water boils, you see these all vegetables are dancing there and may feel that, oh, how nicely I can dance. My dance is so good that tomato is not able to dance properly. I am a potato, I am dancing so well. And we will have that idea. But all dance stops as soon as the fire is removed from underneath. So, all our so called independence doesn't really exist. And that one alone is independent because there is no other. Never any other appears there. It is the all that world is only its illusory or temporary, constantly changing manifestation. So, therefore, it is not dependent like all those vegetables were dancing. So, we also all dance here, feeling that we are independent. No, none of these have any independence, any existence. So, that one independent existence is being discussed, and that discussion is called meditation. The discussion is not to argue but to feel. That is that Satyam Param Dhimahi, that we feel, meditate, try to hold on to that truth in all these stories. So, uh, last time we concluded this seventh book, or as called Skandhas. The seventh book has been concluded. The highlight of the seventh book was the great story, so illuminating, the story of Prahlada. Is that story is the guiding principle for all devotees, support for everybody who wants to walk on that path. There is in that story again you see a beautiful combination of all yogas, the knowledge, the devotion, meditation, and work. All that is seen in that story of Prahlada. And before going to the eighth book today, let us take a few things from that wonderful story of Prahlada, that which is this seventh book. Seventh book may have some other things, but the main story was that of Prahlada, the devotion. And it is, let us remember that it is the he was the son of a demon, but his qualities were that of a very pure minded, uh, godly mm, child. He was never affected by his demon descent. It is just, this is a very important indication that one need not pay too much emphasis on which lineage I come from. Maybe whatever lineage you have come from, develop devotion. One can. And these are great examples like Prahlada. They, uh, Prahlada, the father was a terrible, terrible demon. Mm. And would not allow even the mention of God or Hari or Vishnu, Narayana, no such. Only I am God, and had captured all the three worlds, the earth, the nether worlds, and the heavens. Everything had been under his governance, and he had become really reckless, had no fear of anything at all, because of the boons given by Brahma. That Brahma told him, I cannot give you the immortality. But then he asked something that practically looks like becoming immortal. I should not be killed by either human beings or animals or any celestial beings or whosoever. Any embodied being should not be able to kill me. Okay, granted. I should not be killed on earth or in air or in water. Okay, granted. That I should not be killed during the day or during the night. Okay, granted. All that means practically, you see, the fellow becomes immortal. I should not be killed by a weapon or a missile, astra and shastra. That is, so one feels that I am perfectly secure and I can do whatever I want. It is, but no, the God has to find a way to kill. But uh, the problem that appeared was this: he was blessed with a child, Prahlad, who, by his innate tendencies, not genetically acquired, but the tendencies which were from his past births, those tendencies were that of constantly devotion with to God, and it went on and angering the Hiranyakashipu, the father, uh, and not only Prahlada was practicing devotion, he was spoiling the others. That is, the especially the school that he was sent to, the uh, children. Prahlada would tell them, look at the purpose of life. He said, like I will read a little bit. Uh, by the working salutations to the uh, Lord. And then he started telling them that They, by the working of the whose Yog Maya, people get ignorance born and distinctions between oneself and another. I and you. And that ignorance is concretized in our life. It is not just a theory, but how it gets expressed and affects our life is, yes, you feel I am this, and then there is the somebody else. So I and the world. This distinction is born out, or it has come only due to ignorance, because you will never be able to specify it. Where is I ending and where is the world beginning? That distinction cannot be outlined, and therefore you can see that it is really non existent, born out of ignorance. It is really not there like horizon. You go to see where it is, you won't find it, because it is only an optical delusion. There is no such a line except what it appears. So, similarly, I and you, I and world, they are not real. And all the sins, means the wrong actions, they happen because we have this idea, I and world. I want to appropriate things from the world, and in that process we commit sinful actions. Just see how the sinful actions are committed. I want to grab this, and I want to grab this before somebody else grabs it. There is competition. So one goes to, first let me eliminate other competitors, and then I will have a good chance of getting it. If there are so many these competitors, what can be done? One starts, crying over that. There is that story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ah, it is, he had written a nice commentary, very good commentary on this one very famous text of this Nyaya philosophy. And then he was uh, going just for a little uh, uh, this pastime or relaxation in a boat with a friend who was also the student of the same academy, uh, and his name was probably Gadadhar. So this and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, I have written a gloss on that text, and I would like to read it to you while we are in the boat." And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started reading it, what a touching story, friends. This other friend of his, he saw is shedding profuse tears. "Oh dear, why are you crying?" He said, "Well, it is, I am ashamed of saying, but the fact is that I also wrote a gloss on that same text. But yours is so superior to mine that when yours becomes available, publicized, nobody is going to look at what I wrote. and my whole labor that I was putting, the aspirations that I will thus become the biggest scholar of this Nyaya philosophy. Everybody will shower honor on me. That all those ideas that I had all dashed. That is why I am crying. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as that is why he is Mahaprabhu, says that "Oh, don't worry, here I throw all that manuscript in the waters there, because if it is hurting you, then no point in having that. And those that Chaitanya's book is gone, but this Gadadhar's book is even now studied by scholars. So it is this competition that I am like this and I want this all happen because of this ignorance related I and you. So all spiritual practice is to be centered on erasing this illusory distinction which is the cause of all suffering in life. So that is what Prahlada begins his sermon with. He starts telling, when the Lord is propitious to you, then this vain, brutish distinction felt between one's interest and another's interest will disappear by feeling this oneness. It is, it is, you see, you feel oneness. So therefore, the hands and they apply soap to face to clean the face. If they feel distinction, no, I will just wash myself. Held with the face. No, it is not like that. Why? Because you see the oneness there. The same eye in hand and same eye in face. Isn't it, Charlie? Yeah, that oneness felt removes that attitude of committing sin. That let me have it and let others go to dogs. No, this is the outcome of this ignorance, that our selfish attitude which makes us commit sins and more sins, and thus we suffer. So that is why Prahlada says, no, it is uh, it is He that is God, God alone, the Supreme Being of inscrutable ways, that is distinguished by ignorant men as I and He. I am this, that fellow is different. And thus we get caught in it. And we then, it is, there is nothing to wonder at it. We then call it as he, as friend and foe. My friend and my foe, enemy. We distinguish between them according to my interest. What's happening? I don't know. No, that is not. The problem is something in the air here. That as there is nothing to wonder at it, for in trying to understand him, even Brahma and the knowers of the Veda fail unto utter confusion. It is not possible by our little intellect to know him. At least our intellect should have this much capability that it cannot be known by intellect. That is what uh, our many Swamis would say this very clearly. The highest intellect is that which understands the limitations of intellect. There is limitation to it. The knowledge of God cannot be had through intellect, and we keep on vainly struggling in that direction, feeling that not today but tomorrow I will unravel all the secrets of nature. Not possible. The physical science has been trying for thousands of years, and we are no nearer in solving the riddle of existence. And we will never be, because the very method is wrong. So, therefore, Prahlada says that it is His grace that has created in me this outlook of seeing uh, a difference between myself and another. Sorry, it is His grace that has erased in me this distinction. So, the great quality of a devotee is erasing this distinction between I and God. Very clear mentions. Many think that the path of devotion means I and God separate. Look at Prahlada, who was greater devotee. I don't know any other example greater than Prahlada. And Prahlada says, by his grace that has erased in me this outlook of seeing differentiation. So, in bhakti, somehow some people have funny ideas that Advaita or non duality is separate, different from bhakti. No. In our Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and such great Puranas, Shruti, Smriti, Puran, all texts, they very clearly say that that non-duality is reached by bhakti also. Bhakti is not at all against non-duality. It is, and who but Prahlada is certifying that, and that is his grace, God's grace, because this cannot be attained by the efforts of body and mind. Our senses and intellect cannot reach this conclusion, and therefore it is God's grace alone. To be worthy of God's grace, you keep on making efforts. That is another thing. Like Ishtananji long back in a retreat had given a nice example that there is a staircase and a little child who is able to just crawls, comes at that staircase and tries to climb on it, puts one hand and then tries to get a leg on that, is not succeeding. Again and again is coming down. Again and again he is trying. So what happens now? Uh, Another person, an elderly person, sees the struggle of child, picks the child, and then carries that child on the next floor, climbs with the child up. Now that is grace. But why that child got the grace? This man sees that the child is trying frantically, trying to its best abilities to climb up. So that makes that child worthy of grace. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell another story that you put in your greatest efforts and the grace of God follows. Do not worry about that. Mm. You do whatever is within your capacity and stop worrying about what God does. Mm. That is in the God's domain. You do not worry about it. So, this is something that is Sri Ramakrishna told in that story that the man's little son was very, very sick, about to die, and somebody told the medicine that you go out on a particular that full moon day, there will be the bless you also bless me. Okay. So it is, they there will be that Swati constellation in this skies. There will be, and then as you go at night, you will see. There has to be. I mean, he didn't say you will see. It is you have to locate where a snake is chasing a frog. Before that, go to a graveyard or cremation ground, and from that cremation ground, collect a human skull, and then that uh, the snake would jump to catch that frog, but the clever frog leaps forward, and in that effort, the uh, poison of the snake will fall. You have to keep hold at your human skull right there to collect it. And then there would be the raindrops of that particular constellation. That some rain drops must fall in that poison there, and then in that decoction, the light of the full moon be reflected, and then that medicine will cure. Now you can imagine how much possibility. We have many experts here, statisticians and all that. How much probability Tushar will give this occurrence? Huh? 0.0001, if yeah, it is because it cannot be zero. So, but practically it is zero. So that, but the fellow goes to do it because my son has to be saved. And while doing the work, keeps on praying, "Oh God, uh, let me find a human skull," and goes, finds. Wow, thank you, Lord. Now the next things also now and sees a snake chasing a frog. Thank you, God. Yes, now let me and follows that snake as the snake is pouncing ah, on that leaps there, and the frog escapes by leaping, but the snake just fell right inside. And then he says, "Well, what about the rains? You know, Lord, you have managed these difficult things. Now let some rain fall in this." And suddenly the rain also fell there, collects that. "Oh, but how now to get the reflection of moon? Please get the clouds, Lord. Remove the clouds so that the reflection of moon will fall in that." And that also happened. So now he did not spare any effort, thinking that it is useless, that is not likely to happen. Let me lie down. No, put in efforts, put in efforts. It will happen. The God's grace will certainly come. It is, do not worry about that. We worry about whether the other will play its role or not. Uh, and thus, no, probably that fellow will not play his part. So, what is the use of my playing my part? No, play your part. At least you have done that. Now the other things, don't worry about it. That which is not in your power, don't worry about it. There is that very nice serenity prayer. Serenity prayer. Ah, you can look it into your that, find it out on your phone. Google it. It will come immediately. Serenity prayer. That strength to accept that which I cannot change. Hmm. What I cannot change, one should accept it. Like what the other person will do, don't have control over it. So accept that. What you cannot change, have the strength to accept that. Is it the strength? What is there? Huh? Ah, yes, yes. Serenity. Correct, correct. Serenity to accept that which I cannot change. I try to change what is not in my power to change. So accept that something that is not possible to change. It is that is, have this serenity. Then have the courage to change that which I can change. Like I can change my lethargy. Hmm. I can do whatever I can. Have courage. What is the use? Don't worry. What is the use? Do it. It is so many wonderful examples of this I have seen amongst our wonderful Swamis, that it is, you do your job. Whether that will happen or not is not your concern. And do your work. That's it. It is that. So while you do your work, you see that you need courage for doing it, to push away such doubts. And what you can change, have the courage to change it, and have the wisdom to understand the difference between the two. Why we usually think that what I cannot change as I can change. Ah, keep on daydreaming about it. That I cannot change, but I go to change that which I cannot change. Hmm. And what I can change, I feel no, it cannot be changed. So give a hard look at what I cannot change and what I can change. It is, you proceed, and then, yes, let me give it a full try. Mm. And then don't worry, if it succeeds, fine. If it doesn't succeed, forget about it. So give it your full try. So that is the where the you understand the grace. Unless you put in your 100% efforts, you don't have the right to seek grace. The grace will come, it is not in your hands. So do that is what you cannot change. So have this serenity to accept it. So this is so these teachings Prahlada was giving, and then Hiranyakashipu was getting angry, more and more angry, and tried to kill, could not. And Prahlada's serenity was just the same. So he asked that it is, in spite of all persecution, and Prahlad could not be killed. And then, when Hiranyakashipu became extremely worried and perplexed, oh, now what is this? Is my end near? Because God is known to do incredible things. So, in spite of being feeling the security, maybe I am not that secure. And then Prahlada continued his sermon to the children whenever he would find opportunity. That one part of that it is, see, we keep on uh, postponing. Oh, let me be old, let me get retired from this job, and then I will do spiritual practice. Everywhere, this kind of postponement. Anyway, this is Thanksgiving vacation time. Let me enjoy the Thanksgiving time. Then later on, I will throw myself in spiritual practice. Or I am having all these travels and the family worries right now. Let me go through that and then, no, do it right away. Prahlada says that it is this human life, he says, uh, is ebbing away, and so every moment is important. Make use of every moment for that purpose. So, and all these what you call enjoyments, what are they? They are exhausting the lifespan, that's all. Whatever life you could have put to use, that also is taken away by these so called enjoyments. You get, they just blindfold you, make you dumb. The enjoyments, they have this tendency or capability that they make you dumb, and they do not make you think and go beyond. Uh, but you must therefore avoid those things. Therefore, one entangled in the fearful state of samsara, imagine how difficult it is to get out of it. He says, look, somebody says that, okay, afterwards I will try when I become old. Even an old person feels I am not so old. One middle aged lady I met, and then seeing Swami, I am also Indian, and what you do, and I am a monk here, Vedanta Society. Oh, what do you do? Like this. And then she said, no, I am not old enough to go into meditation and scriptural studies. So what to do? What? No, I am more interested in cultural programs, Indian cultural programs, Indian music and movies and all that. So I was thinking that if you have some such things, I can join in that. Said, sorry, we don't have such things. But that is, the person never thinks I am old enough. Later on, I will do. When I get old, and the person never feels I am old. It is one couple told me that after this retirement, and my children's my children get married and all, then we will go into spiritual practice. But no, then they take up travel. Oh, we had the desire to see so many things. In our working days, we could not do it. So, okay, let us, after we go to all different travels, we need to go to, Africa and Argentina and Mexico and Brazil and Peru and Japan. Unending, there is it never ends, and one gets caught in that okay later on. So Prahlada warns, look, know that you are getting more and more entangled. How difficult it is, even without any family, how difficult it is to get freed from entanglement. Now the family, the children, then grandchildren, forget it. Uh, Even at on the deathbed, you will keep on thinking only about that it is my child. How nice! All the memories of that will come up, and one gets so engrossed in that. So Prahlada says, remember how difficult it is. So this is what a devotee must do. And then this story ends there, uh, and the section continues as Prahlada becomes the ruler. Many nice incidents take place there. Uh, but as we move to the this uh, eighth book, now this Yudhishthira is asking, okay, I heard you describing the uh, lineage of one Manu. That is the. Uh, but I want to hear the about the other Manus also. So that story begins here. This uh, it never ends. Creation has neither beginning nor an end, but within that the cycles are many. So he says that uh, you have uh, Raja Parikshit, that is how the Bhagavat is being told. Raja Parikshit, he is on the counting his days. 7 days he was going to die. So every moment of those 7 days he wanted to just listen to these stories about Lord and feel the devotion. That is why even now there is the custom of Bhagavata Saptaha, 7 days of recital of Bhagavata. So anyway, it is we have heard how in the course of his Manvantara, the various Prajapatis like Marichi, this is the this uh, Swayambhuva Manu that was discussed. But then this every that what is called kalpa means the beginning and end of the whole one cycle of universe. Within that there are what is called four yugas, and then there are those governors of every each of them. They are called manus, Manu. So, and therefore they are called Manvantara, means the particular period governed by that Manu. So, this is the otherwise the creation as one sees, I and the world, creation is there. Ignorance is there, creation is there. Otherwise, no creation, God alone is. So, it is the various different uh, functions of creation appear there. It is this Swayambhuva Mano. Uh, he was there, and he now his time is getting finished as such. So he with his wife he decided to go into Vanaprastha, that it is like staying. We saw these different ashramas last time. So the Vanaprastha means retiring from all entanglements of governing and looking after family and progeny and all that. Now he decides to Swayambhuva, the husband of Shatarupa, uh, growing averse to all worldly enjoyments, retired to the forest with his wife, adopting the austere life of Vanaprastha on the bank of the Sunanda river's name. He performed severe austerities, standing on a single leg for 100 years, and chanted as follows. There is this hymn of praise by this Swayambhuva Mano, and this hymn is that just Vedanta wisdom, that uh, it is consciousness which makes being in the world appear conscious. Uh, how we all feel I am conscious. It is now that consciousness stems from Lord, who is consciousness itself. And we are conscious to some extent and not always to everything. And that is why it is said magic becomes possible, because our consciousness has holes, and magician takes the help of those holes and creates these holes deliberately, so that we are not watching clearly. It is a magician's book I was reading. He had performed, given a lecture in Brown University, or Prithvish had gone to attend it. So he told me about that. A very interesting idea, that so he says difficult to cheat children, because the children, although they have short span of attention, uh, they when they watch everything very clearly. So it is the adults, they get uh, somewhat distracted. So when the magician wants to perform a trick, then that magician suddenly says to, hey, why? I told you not to. This is a show going on. And why did you come now? It is, oh, we will talk about it later. This is so many people have come. So attention gets shifted to that. What you are saying? Fire at our home. No, well, did you take care of it? So, but the mind of the people already has gone there. And in this gap, this magician performs the tricks. So, we are not always conscious. Again, when we fall asleep, we are not conscious of anything, or rather, we are conscious of unconsciousness. So it is Sarvapriyananji was telling very nicely in the retreat, that it is the Not that there is no awareness, you are aware of nothing. It is not absence of awareness, but awareness of absence. So, it is, but that is all reflection from Lord's awareness. We shall discuss the hymn in our next class and then proceed uh, to the next stories here. This main story that we will be discussing is the story of what is called Gajendra Moksha, the liberation of the elephant from the jaws of crocodile. I don't know if you have seen the jaws of crocodile. Really very fearsome. It is when I got to see that, I know what it means, getting into the jaws of crocodile. How an elephant got rescued, that is a very nice story with lot of spiritual illumination associated there. So right now we shall uh, this slide also we will see later. Uh, Now we shall conclude with this chant. निगमकल्पतरुर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुर्हो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. O devotees, quaff, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Any questions? No question here. Any question up there? No question. So we get early release today. Mm. So let us conclude with the closing chant. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बो केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल. हरि हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल. कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल. कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल. केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल.